Hello everyone, this is MJ with MinIO, and welcome back to the MinIO on Kubernetes and MinIO Operator course. In this section of the course, we're going to talk about deploying the MinIO Operator with the MinIO Kubectl Krew plugin. This is slightly different than the Helm method. The end result is the same, so if you haven't watched our Helm series on how to deploy the operator using Helm, then you should go check that out if that is your preferred method. But this is another method that we provide for people to be able to deploy the operator easily onto a Kubernetes cluster. So the MinIO Kubernetes plugin provides a command line for initializing the MinIO operator, and this is based off kubectl and a package manager called Krew. Krew with a K because everything in Kubernetes starts with a K. The MinIO plugin can be installed two ways. You can either use the Kubernetes Krew plugin manager, as I just said, or you can manually download it and install the plugin binary to your local machine. And the way that that works is you simply add that binary to a specific directory on your system, and kubectl can then leverage that binary to do additional things. So make sure you follow these instructions. I'm sure these will be updated over time, but those are going to be your best bet, and we will put links for this in the description as well. So it's as simple as if you already have kubectl and Krew installed, and again, Krew is a package manager for kubectl. So you can go and get all sorts of different extensions and plugins that will help you do things against your cluster. So I highly recommend that, even if you are not going to use it for MinIO only. But when you get it, you simply need to do kubectl Krew install MinIO. That's after an update. So basically the update's going to pull down the updates for Krew and let you know all of the available packages. And then you will run kubectl Krew install MinIO, and that will install MinIO specifically on here. Once that's done, you don't have to type Krew anymore. So now you can validate the version just by typing kubectl MinIO version, and it will tell you the version of the operator or command line client that you've installed. Now, once that's done, you can run the following command to initialize the MinIO operator: kubectl MinIO init. That is all you have to type, but that is the basic command. But there are many other switches, which I will show you in the lab portion of this video. But until then, just know that this is all you have to type, and it will actually install the operator in a sort of best practices based state. So the command line initializes the MinIO operator with the following default settings. It deploys the operator in the MinIO operator namespace. So again, if you don't want that namespace, you're going to need to go into that and modify that slightly from the command line before you install. Specify the kubectl MinIO init namespace argument will let you deploy the operator into a different namespace. It uses cluster.local as the cluster domain when configuring the DNS host name on the operator. So if you're doing some special DNS in your Kubernetes cluster and you want to update that, then you can also specify that. And that's really all that you need to know about that portion. It will likely work just fine, but there are other use cases depending on your cluster where you will need to customize this. Once that's done, and it's basically giving you back a message that it's ready to go, you can verify the installation by typing this command. And this is going to tell you all of the resources that were created by that command. So it's going to show you all the services, it's going to show you all the deployments, it's going to show you all the pods, everything related to bringing the MinIO operator up and running. Here's kind of what this will look like. So the output should resemble this, where you see some pods, some services, some deployments, and some replica sets that are related to those deployments. And then depending on your system, because all the systems are slightly different and it may or may not work, as we've seen in previous courses, you can run the kubectl MinIO proxy command to temporarily forward traffic from the MinIO operator console service to your local machine. And basically, that's going to give you a way to open up a web browser and be able to navigate to the MinIO operator web UI. However, just as before, this is temporary. So if you stop this command and you want to do anything else from the CLI, that web UI will no longer be available. So in the lab, I'm also going to show you how to set up ingresses so that we can easily access the MinIO operator UI. You can also try to use node ports. Again, this is going to be specific to your system. But if you type this command, which will also be included in the links below or in the description below, then this is going to tell you the ports that have been exposed on your system that you can then go and get more persistent access. So it's going to look something like this. And depending, again, on your configuration, you might not have this available. You might not be able to open node ports on your particular cluster. There are a couple switches that you can include in here. So with the kubectl MinIO init, you can do --console-tls. That's going to automatically enable TLS on your console, I say that is good to get started, but I do recommend that you actually route your console, if this is a long-term persistent installation, through an ingress that has all of the TLS certificate configuration built into the ingress. And then lastly, you can run this kubectl get secret console SA secret. And basically this is going to decode that secret for you right there, because what you need is the Java web token. That's going to be what allows you to access the MinIO web UI. If you do not have the Java web token, you're just not going to be able to get it. It's not a username and password. It is a JOT, which will allow you access to that. So you're going to have to pull this secret out and keep that somewhere safe. And also this secret gets regenerated sometimes. So you may need to go back in and re-pull that secret from the cluster. So that's all for the slide portion of this video. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive over into the lab and I'm going to show you how to set all this up. And hopefully you can follow along and get some hands-on experience deploying this using the Kubectl Krew plugin. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll talk to you next time.